So I actually didn't know it was possible, but the Sniperwolf stuff, it got worse. Through her actions and not her words, Sniperwolf did just admit her guilt. And it's with this admission that I actually don't see a world anymore where she doesn't get banned. Is what I'd say if I had any faith in the integrity of YouTube, but I don't at this point. And to be honest, I'm sure if you're watching this video, you feel the same way that I do. So it's with that said that we might as well just get straight into the video. So Sniperwolf videos at the moment, it's the Wild West. It's not an exaggeration anymore to say that everybody is making them, and I think that's testament to the situation and how serious it's gotten. I won't dwell on it too much because, of course, it's not the point of the video, but as we all know, Sniperwolf did dox jacksfilms, and ultimately that was a culmination of the fact that he was calling her out for stealing content. But as it turned out, it might be better that she does steal content. Now obviously, that's not me attempting to defend it, but it is me kind of making an admission that the alternative is much worse. I made a full video on this. If you want to go back and watch it, I'll link it in the card and down below in the description. But to give a brief overview, her old videos, they're not good. And I'm not just talking about the quality of the videos, I'm talking about what she made. Because a video came out recently where she's been shown to be engaging in really questionable actions in her videos. And to be honest, that's me sugarcoating. I'll link just a short snippet of the video here.
Yeah, let's go. Come on! No, come on, let's do it. Yeah! Oh, yeah. That's fucking awesome. Yeah. Let's get the little guy, too. I wanted to see the little guy.
So I'll spare you seeing any more than that because really the video speaks for itself just from that clip. Sniperwolf kind of basically tricked kids into doing suggestive things on omegle for her channel, and she did it with the offer of sending like explicit pictures or content back to them. So I don't think I really need to tell you how bad that actually is. And I've seen comments like kind of arguing that it's an artifact of the time back then, like that stuff was just openly acceptable, and that's just such a bad argument because it wasn't. And honestly, if this existed like anywhere outside of the Sniperwolf bubble, this wouldn't have been accepted. And another thing that I've seen commented on my last video was that if the roles were reversed, if Sniperwolf was a guy, it would be so much worse. And I don't think that's true in principle, but I think for the optics, it kind of is. Say someone that looks like Evan Sausage was doing this on his channel. If content like this was exposed, I think the reaction would be so much more visceral.
You're
in my head.
You're intruding on my video. If you can just leave the room, that'd be
I'm like a
appreciated.
pimple.
But a lot of people on this site, I can only describe them as white knights. I mean, you could even call them simps, you know? It's not a word I'd use personally, but it works. But they're the type of people that let this kind of stuff slide, but I do feel like it is shifting now. And that's purely because of awareness, so really, this situation, for all its faults, it does have a few positives. So the video I showed you, obviously, it's been the subject of a lot of interest. And the reason why, you know, it speaks for itself. But now Sniperwolf has deleted it, and that in itself is a huge admission of guilt. And to understand why, you kind of need to understand Sniperwolf and who she is fundamentally. So Sniperwolf intrinsically, she has like no credibility or no respect from anyone on this platform anymore. And to be honest, that cat was out of the bag like 10 years ago. As the recent lawsuit that she's in with Evan Sausage revealed, she has been faking her content for like nearly a decade now. And again, I did a much more in-depth video on that lawsuit if you want to go back and watch it, but I'll just give a brief overview. The guy that I showed earlier in the video, Evan Sausage, he is her partner in crime. In what is probably gutting news for those simps, they were married in like 2013, and everything that she did on the platform was orchestrated by him through writing, directing, and kind of like planning to be this figure. And she achieved it, you know, she's very polarizing, but she is also popular. But as we know now, she's not popular for her authenticity. She is popular for like an orchestrated campaign of social growth by this Evan Sausage guy. And it's with that point that you can understand that everything she does is made to outrage people, because outrage gets clicks and clicks make money. It's about as simple as that. It's why she continues to steal content despite the overwhelming criticism that she gets every day. Obviously, the criticism doesn't matter to her because her whole persona is built around outrage. Once the bag is secured, nothing else matters. And it's with that point that the fact that she deleted that old video is a serious admission of guilt. Because with the amount of videos now being made about it, she could make more money off it. But the fact she's trying to hide it, she knows she's fucked up here and there's no hiding from that. So it's with that point that I think Sniperwolf is now backed into a different type of corner than she's ever been backed into before. Ultimately, the ball's kind of in YouTube's court at this point, because stealing content is one thing, but what she's done here, like, you could even argue it's like nonsense. Well, that is like genuinely a crime, and the fact she's trying to hide it, it just proves her guilt. So we'll see what happens. Obviously, YouTube have a horse in the race, and that Sssniperwolf, she makes them a lot of money. But there's definitely a fine line between what's acceptable at a push and what just crosses the line completely. And I might be being optimistic because in my last video, a lot of people did try to defend her. But I would hope that anybody watching this video, they know exactly what side of the line this falls on. But it's with that there's not really much else to say. There is one final, like, really deep, dark truth about Sssniperwolf, and I've had trouble trying to, like, formulate my words around this. She's from Liverpool, she's a Scouser, and I think if you're from the UK, that is going to similarly shock you. But other than that, that is the end of the video. I think once you know who Sssniperwolf is, and ultimately once you know that she has deleted that video, that is all you need to know about her character. Drop a sub, because if anything else happens, I will make a video on it. Drop a like, drop a comment telling me what you think. I think the more people that learn this information, the bigger chance that something actually will happen. But other than that, we're just gonna have to wait and see what YouTube actually do. And that's where we're at now, in a bit.